All my life I have been performing. Dance has been my way of communicating for so many years. My way of letting people know what I am thinking. But now I want to make a change. Make the audience see who I truly am.
So we're going to use the words enter, return, control, delete. You had to make that your dance.
Talofa lava, Tenakoto, greetings. My name is Lusi. I'm a Samoan Kiwi-born performer with a disability, cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia since birth. It affects my muscle coordination on both sides of my body, especially my speech.
Which one? Control.
I communicate through a touch link, but mostly my eyes.
Return, delete.
But how I really express myself to the world is dance.
Dance has been an integral art form for Lusi to communicate, to storytell, to perform and connect with her culture. And, you know, when I look back at all the works that she's made with Touch Compass, they have been around her culture, around her identity, and how she kind of connects being a New Zealand-born Samoan artist. So I think it's huge.
I have been performing for well over 3 decades now. I started with Touch Compass as a founding member and have done many pieces of work with them.
Lusi is one of those people with a really proud track record in the arts of our nation. She was a founder of probably our most well-known mixed ability dance company, Touch Compass. And Lusi was good enough to play quite a big role in the development of our Pacific arts strategy. And one of the key themes that came through there was, let's do something mindful about supporting practitioners who have a disability.
I'm here, arriving into my own dream.
My favorite piece was Lucy's Eden, which we toured through New Zealand.
There's a famous image of Lucy almost upside down because she's dancing from a trapeze. That photo is so powerful, and it really symbolized the energy of of a world that could be through the power of her art.
Performing arts break down barriers. It helps people to listen to our voices. We just need people to understand our frustrations.
Lucy's way that she creates or performs, I think you can see it in her eyes. She's a very emotive storyteller, and she's like very joyful, but also there's quite a lot of, she's easy to cry. I think Samoans also cry all the time, so that's fine. Yeah, but I think that's why she's a powerful storyteller, even if the movement is small or big, because she's so into the emotion of the movement.
I am always looking at new avenues to express my life journey through dance. We are currently working on a new piece called Tao Paw, which I will perform at Cuba Dupa Festival down in Wellington. A Tao Paw is where the High Chief of a Samoan village selects a ceremonial hostess and charged with the formal reception and entertainment of visitors. I just wanted to reconnect with my Samoan side, which I was denied for many years. I was brought up in Lower Hutt, Wellington. My family came from Samoa, and they'd been in New Zealand since the 60s. The doctors advised my mom to put me in an institution and live in. Because of the time, there were no support systems for families with children with disabilities to access to support for them on an everyday basis.
On the plains near Levin are 3 special hospitals run by the Mental Health Division of the New Zealand Department of Health.
My mom had to send me to Kimberley. It was the main institution where people have mental illness and disabilities. My time at Kimberley wasn't good. I felt so isolated from other children and my family. I recall the nurses were unfriendly and strict. There weren't any recreational activities to do. I cried myself to sleep at night. I spent just 6 years at the institution. Then I went back home to Wellington. I was lucky to have a good couple who became my guardians to watch over me throughout my childhood. I remember that the Joneses were there volunteering and teaching at Kimberley when I was there. They showed unconditional love to me. At the first time, I feel so happy. They taught me to read and write. It has opened doors for me to be able to get words on the paper, and I could express my feelings that I can't like before. For some time now, I have been developing my own take on the siva, a traditional style of Samoan hand performance. The siva is all about the flowing movements. I also want to mark my journey with a tattoo. A tattoo is a traditional Samoan tattoo that is done through the original process of using handmade tools. I am not a big fan of needles, and I'm quite scared, but I know this is the right thing for me to do to heal. Today I am getting a tattoo, which is a traditional Samoan tattoo.
Okay, put your hand up.
I will be getting it on my left hand, which is the hand I predominantly perform with. The tattoo means a lot of things to me. Mainly it is healing my connection to my Samoan heritage. The design will represent my life, my journey, and my ainga.
Lusi, you ready? We're gonna start. So today we're doing tualima, as this is what we call the tattooing on the hands. Just gonna be doing the designs that will represent Lusi in his journey in life. And mostly it's gonna be from the malu, the female tattoo, the designs is from.
The artist uses a traditional set of tools called Tao Paw. It's made of 2 pieces of wood, with a comb attached to one of them.
Ready? How was that? All right?
The first tap was painful, and I know it will get more painful as they move on to my knuckles and fingers. As this is a traditional practice, we all wear lava, and the tattoo must be done with everyone on the ground on Iatonga, which is a woven mat. I am not a big fan of pain at all, but the pain is worth it. I'm here to prepare for my street performance at Cuba Dupa.
So, no, and then Yoi 4, and then they'll be here.
Today I am starting rehearsals with Tupe, who is an expert at the Siva Samoa. She is going to give me some guidance for the Tao Paw performance.
You want me to run it with you again, or you want to go? Both of us? Okay, cool. Seki, we got it.
Working with Tupe, she showed me a new and different way to adapt with her movements in my style of Tao Paw.
Take your time, so. Working with Lusi, there were just certain qualities that we had to bring into the space with the dance. Yeah, let everyone see you. And she kind of already had it, so it was really just a matter of refining the repertoire and getting the wholeness of that story within the Siva Samoa. Just take a nice breath in also. We came and we had a bit of a workshop where we developed movements that Lusi was comfortable with, but also that would express some of the things she wanted to say. But then when she's also out and fierce and does the moves where she's just like bang. Like, for example, I go to her, give it to them, and she just goes, poof. When you're ready, when you've said what you wanted to say, you rest. Good. Boom. Lua. Jolu. Fa. And ba, ba, ba. You're doing beautiful work. Thank you. When I'm like, this is about you, bring us back in, and then she just does it naturally and then brings us all into a more intimate, more intricate story. Intimate story with more intricate details. And that really is qualities that very seasoned performers have. And also people who have really rich life stories. Thanks, Usul.
I have mainly done contemporary dance with touch compass in the past, so this is a new change for me. I remember visiting Tao Paw when it first opened, performing there. I'm here to learn more about early Samoan culture. Getting to go behind the scenes of Tao Paw and explore the archives is a true privilege.
Awesome. So you're particularly interested in tuinga?
The historians pulled out the tuinga, which is a Samoan traditional headdress. The Tao Paw would often wear these headpieces.
This tuinga is made from composite parts. A lot of tuinga today are made as like hats. This has a separate pale. It's got the human hair and the laulu are separate as well. And the lave, which is this frame here, they're all separate pieces. So that's a sort of like an old style of tuinga. Even though this is a contemporary example, that's how the old styles of tuinga were stored and made, from separate pieces.
Seeing all this culture and treasure is very healing for me. And it will help to inform my performance.
Those are probably 150 years old.
Can I borrow it? For the Tao Paw performance, it is a street parade. I will be performing up Cuba Street through the crowd, ending in a Siva performance up the top of the street. Today we are working on polishing up the performance.
Right. It's pretty good for like 2 days of rehearsal, babe.
The Tao Paw Performance is a collaboration between myself and Everybody Cool Lives Here, which is led by Rose and Nick. We brought Jacob into the performance to bring some of his amazing energy.
You're gonna have to take your shirt off, babe. Yeah! It's so easy, smooth. Whatever, sorry cameras, you love it. Lucy was meant to do a performance with another company, I think 2 years ago at Cuba Duper, and at the last minute it got cancelled. And so she was pretty disappointed. So I just said, I'll come down anyway and we'll just go to the party. And we were like walking around Cuba Street and we were like trying to get through the crowds, and I was like, the Queen's coming, the Queen's coming. And then I was like, this is a cool piece, the Queen is coming. Jacob,
yes.
When the music starts, right, as soon as the music starts into the movement,
Yes, and then just go
then you
up,
get
just
on.
grab on the chair.
Yeah, you've got it. Cool. So let's, what kind of energy do you think Jay should be holding in his face for that one? Strong.
Okay.
Looking at everyone in the eyes? Okay.
Awesome.
When I am coming up Cuba Street, I want to make people think about accessibility
Call out.
and how we need to make way for us to create.
There you come.
I want people to see that I am capable of performing. Most importantly, I want people to see I am a Samoan woman and proud of it.
I think that Lucy is showing herself as a Samoan wahine and leading the process. So, yeah, it's been like slowly but surely all coming together over 2 years, and then like a mad rush in the last like few days. Make sure that you look at everyone. There's no need for you to rush. Do you feel a little bit rushed? Why? Nervous? Slow it all down so we can see all of it. Stop thinking about getting the moves right, because it's on your face.
Heading down Cuba Street and it's all happening. All the lights, all the colors, and all the people.
Shit, there's so many people here, it hasn't even started. The heck?
I am a wee bit nervous as I haven't done a street performance like this.
How? Sheesh.
A lot could go wrong. My chair could get stuck, or we could have people who just don't move out of the way. Rose is my side chick, a creative genius who is deeply passionate about diversity and inclusion.
When I met Lucy in 2018, I remember thinking, like, this is the mentor that I've been waiting to find in the arts. You love it.
Before the performance, I have to get into makeup and hair. Rose and Nick have organized their lovely friend Wayne, who is a makeup pro and drag performer, to get me glammed up and performance ready. After this, we get into the wardrobe. Rose has assembled a beautiful costume for me.
Do you like the little blue showing a little bit?
Right before we head out, we do a pre-performance ritual. It helps me to get into the right mindset.
2 years in the making to get Lucy to be Queen of Cuba Duper. Let's hear it, yeah! Woo!
It's beautiful to have my Ainga around me, giving me their energy for me to take to the stage. I am very nervous, but their energy is calming. Heading up the street, all I can think about it is the crowds. They are all watching me. I can hear the music pumping, the crowd cheering and my Ainga around me. As I started to perform, I could feel the beautiful music channeling through my body. I felt like a total powerhouse, taking my space.
As much as it's about like partying and the energy of Cuba Duper, this has also been a huge journey for Lusi. It's been great to see her become so much more connected to her identity.
I know that those who saw my performance will think differently about performers. We can come from all different backgrounds, but watch us and watch the impact we can make. Tao Paw has helped me to feel more connected with my Samoan roots and has allowed me to explore parts of my heritage that I never thought I would be able to. At the end of the performance, I felt love and acceptance. For a day, I felt like the Queen of Wellington.